Chapter 15. Ruby changed the subject. "Why do you always wear the same clothes, Dove? Don't you have any others?" She made a shield with her hands and looked through the windowed walls of the greenhouse, but saw nothing unusual in the moonlit chicken yard. Dove was already in the middle of an explanation. "I've got lots. They are all the same. I had my mamma buy me 6 shirts and 6 pants, all alike. And of course the socks come in a package of 6, just alike. And then I always wear my hat and boots. I like these clothes. They're good for anthropology work. They're field clothes. Then they're uniforms, like the army, or a garage mechanic." Ruby's stomach growled, and she squatted under the counter to find her moon pies. "Did you eat tonight?" Dove nodded. "That's why I was late. I ate with your aunt." "Miss Mattie?" "Yep. She had me and Aunt Tot and Uncle Tater over for dinner after Melba got cleaned up." "What are you doing?" Ruby shoved aside a bag of lime and searched under the counter. "I bet the whole town was at Melba's house." "There was a reporter there, too. She was real old and wrinkly and powdery. Miss Mattie said she lives next door to Miss Eula and has no sense. She said, 'Don't talk to her, whatever you do.' So I didn't. But I took lots of notes. It's a stroke of luck to be ready with your equipment when there's a real-life tragedy, so you can get all the interviews firsthand, especially when people will talk and tell you all about it. I wanted to snap a picture of Melba to compare to the ones I took of her yesterday, but I didn't think she'd let me. It was just a bucket of paint." "Well, it's some powerful paint. Melba's head is stained bright blue in splotches like a patchwork. Mr. Popham said the only way to get that blue off of her noggin is to soak it in turpentine." And then Melba started wailing again, and her mamma said, "Harvey, you're not helping," and she asked everybody to go home. But I talked to Melba for a few minutes in her room. That's when I tape recorded her. Ruby spied the moon pies, but couldn't reach them. Her voice was muffled from under the counter. Serves her right after making fun of my chickens the way she did. Her hair was ugly anyway. At least she had some. "She's so mad at you." Bess squawked louder, and Ruby listened. Then Bess quieted. "What's the matter with those two?" Ruby pulled the moon pies closer, using a broom handle, then reached farther and clawed them to her. "Got 'em," she cheered. "They're kind of smushed." She crawled backward from under the counter and threw herself on her quilt. "Who cares if Melba is mad at me? I don't. I don't care about her at all." "Well, I do." Ruby glared at Dove. "You just want to record your gossipy old stories. That's all you want to do. You're just as nosy as Miss Phoebe in her column." Dove's face colored, and she picked at some straw on her sock. Ruby sighed. "Sorry, really." She handed Dove a moon pie, keeping the most smushed one for herself, hoping Dove would notice. Dove took it, but didn't say anything about getting the best one. Ruby pushed her hair out of her face. "I didn't mean it. I know your work is important," she said. Dove unwrapped her moon pie. "I'd hate to be bald," was all she said. She took a bite of her pie, then, looking thoughtful, started talking with her mouth full. "I mean, monks in Tibet are bald. They plan it that way, and they all look the same. They even wear the same clothes. These old potato sack robes, and they fold their arms just so, and smile just so, and look all peaceful all the time. I bet it's a rule they have to look peaceful all the time. I'll find out when I go there. And they're bald. But here only old men are bald, and that looks fine. But kids being bald, that looks weird. And being blue is even worse. I don't know anybody who is blue on purpose." Ruby flopped herself backward. "For heaven's sake, Dove." Outside, the chickens gave another squawk. "Go to sleep, girls," called Ruby. Ivy began clucking in earnest and moving on the nest, a little left, a little right, then settling again. Dove's eyes grew wide. "Hey, is that peeping I hear?" "Yes, sirree," crowed Ruby. She tossed her moon pie onto her quilt and leaned closer to Ivy. "Put your head close to the nest, and you can hear the chicks pecking on their shells." "Good golly!" Dove's moon pie was smashed under her left knee. How does it work? What happens next? As long as the chicks are warm under ivy and pecking on their shells, they are growing stronger. They'll peck a line all the way around the middle of the shell, and then they'll push hard with their feet and wiggle out. They have to do it themselves, or they won't be strong enough to live in the world. Ivy's clucks mean, "Come on, you can do it." Dove listened. They're talking to each other already. Outside in the moonlit night, Bess and Bemmy began talking too, squawking loudly again. And this time they didn't stop. "Hush up, you hens," yelled Ruby. But Bemmy and Bess screeched longer and louder, and suddenly Ruby knew something was terribly wrong. Uh-oh. Have to wait till next time.